Hello everyone, welcome to Infinite Journeys. Subscribe and click the bell button now. Everything is connected for a reason. So relax and enjoy the experiences.
The sun was just beginning to dip behind the canopy of the towering trees, casting golden shafts of light that danced through the leaves. The narrow, winding road through the forest was peaceful, almost magical, with chirping birds and the rustling of leaves creating a symphony of nature. In a silver minivan, a family of 3 was enjoying the beauty of the forest. Inside, laughter echoed as they marveled at the scenery around them. Mr. and Mrs. Greenwood were seated in the front, while their daughter, 10-year-old Martha, was in the back. Martha, on the other hand, had her face pressed against the window, eyes wide with wonder. She was a bubbly, well-mannered, and incredibly imaginative girl who loved the idea of exploring new worlds, especially ones from her beloved fantasy stories. She was also known for her crafty hands and street-smart attitude, often turning simple things into works of art. Today, her hands were busy with a sketchbook, capturing the essence of the forest around her.
Look, Dad, a deer!
Martha exclaimed, pointing excitedly as a graceful creature bounded through the trees. The deer walked towards Martha, and she got a chance to touch it. Mr. Greenwood chuckled.
Keep your eyes peeled, Martha. The forest is full of surprises.
He never knew words would be powerful. As they rounded a particularly sharp bend on the narrow road, the earth suddenly trembled beneath them. A low rumble grew into a deafening roar. A landslide! Rocks and debris cascaded down from the cliffside, crashing into the road in front of them. Mr. Greenwood hit the brakes, but it was too late. The minivan skidded, swerving dangerously close to the edge.
Hold on!
He shouted. The ground beneath the van gave way, and in an instant, the world flipped upside down. The minivan tumbled over the edge, falling into the depths of the forest below. Panic surged through the family as they screamed and clung to each other. Martha, her hand locked with her mother's, could feel her heart pounding in her chest. She could see her mother's terrified face. Just as all seemed lost, something miraculous happened. The thick, ancient roots of a tree jutted out from the forest wall, like the hands of a guardian reaching out. One of the roots wrapped around Martha, halting her fall. She held tightly to her mother's hand, her small fingers gripping her as they dangled in midair. Suddenly, a deep, gentle voice resonated through the forest, as if the trees themselves were speaking.
Martha will be in nature's care and responsibility.
For a moment, time stood still. Martha's mother looked into her eyes, her face softening into a calm smile. With a tender nod, she released her hand.
Mom! No, Dad!
Martha screamed as she watched her parents plummet into the forest depths below. Her father's voice was the last thing she heard, a single word that seemed to echo endlessly.
Martha!
Then everything went black. When Martha woke up, her head was throbbing and her body ached all over. She blinked her eyes open, and for a moment, she thought she was still dreaming. She was lying on a soft bed of moss, surrounded by the most extraordinary sight, a circle of animals. Deer, squirrels, foxes, birds of every color, and even a few small predators like lynxes were gathered around her. Their eyes were filled with a gentle curiosity. She could see no threat in them, only concern. She lifted herself up slowly, her mind still foggy.
Where am I?
A large, wise-looking owl perched above her, ruffled its feathers, and spoke in a voice that reminded her of a gentle breeze rustling through leaves.
You are safe, child. The forest has chosen to care for you.
Martha's heart raced, but she felt a strange calmness, almost as if the forest itself was cradling her in its arms. She took a deep breath and looked around. She could see no sign of her family, and panic started to creep in. Tears welled up in her eyes as she remembered the last moments before she lost consciousness. But there was no time for despair. Martha was strong, smart, and resourceful. She knew she had to adapt to this new reality if she ever hoped to survive. With the help of the animals, she learned the ways of the forest. The birds guided her to freshwater streams. The deer showed her where to find the juiciest berries and edible plants. And the foxes taught her how to stay hidden from the more dangerous predators. Martha also used her crafting skills to her advantage. She built a small shelter using large leaves, branches, and vines. Over time, it had evolved into a cozy little hut. She decorated it with flowers, stones, and carved wood pieces, giving it a touch of home. She crafted tools from rocks and bones and learned to weave baskets from reeds and twigs. The animals brought her food and companionship. She wasn't alone. She had become part of the forest. The months turned into years, and Martha grew stronger and wiser. Her presence brought a new harmony to the forest. The animals seemed to regard her as a guardian, and soon she was known as the mother pearl of the forest, a symbol of purity, strength, and wisdom. She would often talk to the trees, sing with the birds, and laugh with the rivers. She had embraced her new life, even though the memory of her family never left her heart. One day, while exploring a new part of the forest, Martha came across a clearing she had never seen before. In the middle of the clearing, lying in a tangle of blue flowers, was a small, lost elephant calf. His skin was a soft shade of blue, unusual for an elephant, and his big eyes were filled with confusion and fear. Martha approached slowly, her voice soft and soothing.
Hey there, little one. It's okay. I'm a friend.
The calf looked up at her, his eyes wide with trust, and slowly got to his feet. Martha could see he was weak and in need of care. She decided to take him back to her treehouse. Over the next few weeks, she nursed him back to health, feeding him tender leaves and fruits and giving him plenty of water. She named him Key, after the blue flowers that had surrounded him in the clearing. Key quickly became Martha's closest companion. His playful antics and gentle nature brought joy and laughter into her life. The two of them became inseparable, exploring the depths of the forest together. Martha would ride on Key's back, and they would venture to places she had never dared to go before. The forest seemed even more alive with Key by her side. Thank you for sharing your story with Infinite Journeys, Martha. Dear viewers, you will know who Key and I are if you had traveled the journey with us from the story Key to beginning. Next to Experience is about a gift that changed a boy's life. Check it out for yourself. Signing off, Earthy.
Thank you, Earthy, for the finishing. Thank you so much to my dear viewers and for your great support. To understand the link, watch our stories from the beginning, do subscribe and click the bell button for more coming up stories. Signing off, Key with Martha.